G'day friends, welcome to today's video. I got a real quick one for you today, but I think it's a fun little idea, very loosely based, actually completely based, off of the BANKSY work, the shredded girl with the balloon. Is that what it's called? I don't know if anyone saw this. It was floating all around social media more recently, and I'm so late to this, but it was an idea that I had as soon as I saw it happen. I thought, that's so funny to me, and I'm still skeptical. I think it was fully a stunt that was all premeditated, but I can't disagree with the fact that it does say a lot about art, and it does give a really interesting commentary that I think is very relevant for people like us in mixed media arts and crafts, or what some would consider maybe folk art or lowbrow art. There are all the classifications there. It's all fantastic. It's all it all means nothing at the end of the day, I guess. But it was a super interesting commentary on that, and I'm not one to really get into art critique or to spend a lot of time, divulging any of that information, because to be honest, I think it's all subjective. If you want to find the the hidden message in something, you will create that for yourself, and if you want to contextualize something so that it means nothing, then you can fully find a way to do that as well. I think I even read an article about these white paintings that were in a gallery. Was it white? There was something. Either way, I think the point was that they were so expensive because the pigment that was used to make them and the slight texture it had was what was so expensive. And I thought, okay. It's not really a commentary on my life. It's not really going to, brighten up my day. I have art in my room that just makes me smile. I got things that make me laugh. I got little pictures of cats. I got stuff on the wall, swatches, because I love the colors of them. I've got things from other artists that I found off Etsy. I've just got lots of fun things that I like to look at, but that doesn't make it any less special to me. And in the bedroom, I've got Steve's art that I've made for him over the years. So like a hand-drawn map of Italy, an ink portrait of Bianca, a little painting of a photo that he took of Venice. Like, that to me is a little bit more, upscale, but even then I wouldn't consider it highbrow. I don't think I've ever done anything highbrow. In fact, the one thing that I thought I was highbrow, I did in high school, and I got in trouble for because I thought I was pulling reference, but I literally direct copied this art. That was when I learnt what referencing and copying was and how they were different. And I had a full-on argument prepared and everything for my art teacher, but he was 100% correct. I did literally just plagiarize it. But I thought that was what we were supposed to be doing. I thought that was referencing. I spent hours on that piece too. It was ridiculous. My mum has it somewhere. It's so funny. It's like the first time you ever use acrylics and you just water them down too much, and there's no payoff on any of the colors. Like, it's such a funny little piece, but I did it on canvas too. I was very proud of myself. But yeah, I was never destined to be a highbrow artist, and for good reason, because a lot of my thought processes aren't anything intellectual or academic. I don't do that in art. I think art is where I turn my brain off. In every other area of my life, my brain is running a million miles a minute thinking about, strategizing and this and that and business and how do you do this and what's this about, like technology. There's a lot of things that I would think about and apply a lot of my brain power to, but actually, diving deep into my psyche and trying to translate that into art, I'd rather just go a little bit more intuitive with that, a little bit more sensing, a little bit more feeling. And I can't say that today's piece really says anything about my life, except for the fact that I thought this shredded piece of art by Banksy was funny to me, in the sense that I guess you could say I'm very skeptical about art critiques. I'm very skeptical about what makes someone an expert with, an art expert of opinions, and this whole idea that there's actually a term. What's it called? Institutional critique? Something like that. But I learned about this term that is applied to art that kind of puts the idea of displaying art in a gallery on display. And it's kind of like the, taking the mickey is what I kind of see it as. It's like, it's actually a genre, like it's actually a thing where you can have art that is made for the purposes of exposing how ridiculous art can sometimes be. And I think it's just, like I said, it's all subjective. People are going to feel one way about something that you might not necessarily feel. So I think in art journaling, that is why possibly we enjoy it so much, is because we tend to remove all of those rules and those stipulations and that expectation that we're going to have anything way too serious in there, or anything that's or that we could have a very serious piece juxtaposed right next to a page of us practicing brush lettering, because that's something that brings us joy. It brings us joy to learn new things just as much as it does to express what we are already enjoying. And so that's why I think art journals are a really great thing, because it's a catch-all for anything, for your whole experience. And ultimately, what could be more indicative of your whole imagination, your whole personality, your whole being, than a book that captures the multifaceted sides of that. So in essence, art journals are actually very highbrow. Says me, I just argued it, so it must be true. But no, I wanted to do something super fun today, and I think even as I did it, I knew that it wasn't going to look great. I think the warm metallic paint, I think it's called warm gold, or warm metallic gold, I don't even know. It's from Handmade Modern, the ones from Target, the little $2 pots. Just a gorgeous, like, champagne finish in that background. I kind of zigzagged the brush strokes to give it a bit of texture. Honestly, took reference from the way that Danielle, the old roomie, did one of the walls in our old apartment, which was always such a bone of contention between Steve and Danielle, because Steve really didn't like the finish and Danielle worked so hard on it. So that's 100% an inside joke for me right there. But yeah, I loved the color of that. I thought it was really simple. I hate the gold frame. I think I did an awful job on that. But you know what? I didn't really much care at the end of the day, because this was all just about putting that idea down in there, kind of looking at it and thinking, okay, that's it. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. That's fun for me. I love the look of it. If I were to go back and do it again, or if you guys were trying to do it and you wanted to elevate it to a place that made you feel like it was a little bit more appropriate for a nice art journal page, I would recommend just cutting out, printing out a gold frame, or if you're lucky enough to have a little ephemera piece gold frame from like a scrapbooking kit or something, or even literally just take your time and draw a nice gold frame, because I did not do that. I took the easy way out and kind of painted something. Then I used this water-based marker because I thought that would save it. Didn't at all. I had to go back over that with the Posca gold brush paint pen. But you know what? It was simple. At the end of the day, this was an idea that I just wanted to put out there. I thought it was really funny to have this the piece that I'd already created a long time ago. Ironically, with the Tim Holtz distress crayons, they were using them in the I don't know if that video is going up before or after this, but the Alice in Wonderland journal with me, that's this was done on a big piece of paper, so I could get all that texture in there, and it looked a lot more beautiful than when I tried to force it into that smaller scale. So this would be the example of how I like to use those crayons, not the Alice in Wonderland journal page, although I did have fun in both. But yeah, just having one of those little prints from a mock-up of a book that I had done a while ago for, I think it was classes? No, it was the collage catalogs. Completely forgot about those. Those collage catalogs had this image in there, so this was one of the mock-up prints that I had, and I thought, yeah, I've got so many just prints around, so many test prints, so many book-proof prints, so many washi tape-proof prints, like anything that I create, I kind of print it out before I ever send it off to the manufacturer. So I've got a lot of stuff lying around, but I want to use it again, because this doesn't exist in this journal, so it's nice to have it in here too. And I'm not so mad that I just fringed the bottom. I think this is exactly how I wanted this in this journal. But anyway, thanks for my pseudo artistic critique talk today. That's not what I wanted to say at all. But thank you for indulging me for a hot second. I'm fascinated with how the art world works, but I just don't much care at the end of the day, because I think it's, at the end of the day, people want to be very, very overly dramatic about all the ins and outs and what something means and what something doesn't and the value of something. At the end of the day, if someone's out there and someone loves it, then that's all that really matters at the end of the day. I often find that those critiques and all of those opinions come from, art dealers that are selling art, which is also an industry. So to me, a lot of art critiques and art opinions also seem like marketing. So that's why I take it with a grain of salt, and I don't really care if it's highbrow or lowbrow. If it makes me feel something, if it makes me enjoy myself expressing it and getting it out there, I think that's all the value I need to get out of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Hope I'm still enjoying my holidays. Catch me on social media. Catch me on Instagram and see if I am. Bye.